yeah, I'd say this show's on the road. With that, we're live.
Was in.
How's it going?
All right, mate. How are you?
Uh,
Yeah, you've
I'm
not been
hanging
that
on.
well this week.
I know. I had to get a test. I got the Rona test, didn't I?
Oh, did you?
Yeah. I don't know where my DNA is now, but
Oh.
it's out there in the ethos. The swab. I did the whole swab on the tonsils and then up the nostril thing. So I've got the 5G chips in now. I'm officially like part of the system, I think.
Yeah, you'll start seeing the holograms and that then, innit, no?
What?
It just sounds like something that someone would believe who's into all the 5G stuff. I've read stuff that they think you're going to be able to see holograms. Like the idea that, that phone advert where Kevin Bacon is showing some band as a projection. I've read something that people think that if you was to get a chip put in you by the government or the big they, that then you'll be able to see these like cartoons and that just in day to day, and you won't need the phone as an interface.
Why is that a negative as well? Isn't that a positive? Wouldn't that be great? Wouldn't you have access to so
Have you
much
not
more
seen
shit?
Spider-Man: Homecoming, mate? That fucking the second Spider-Man
Not a
film.
fan.
Oh, mate, the bad guy in that uses holographic projections to basically pretend there's a terrorist attack.
Right.
So that everyone sees it, and
Oh,
it's all actually drones using projectors and holograms and not
that
as
is
Mysterio.
that is shit. That's a legitimate. The conspiracy's called Project Blue Beam. Let me
Oh,
let me
go
do
on.
some quick explain the
The
Spider-Man bit
plot of the
more.
Spider-Man film.
No, just that bit, like the attack that they're doing, and I'm
So
sure it is.
they use a bunch of drones, and the drones are using a sort of projection, but people can't see the drones inside. They can only see the holographic projection, and
Right.
everyone believes that it's Mysterio, this massive fucking guy with a fish bowl on his head, and he's smashing up the town and that. But really, it's just drones, and it's all CGI, even down to the explosions and the broken buildings.
So I'm sure Project Bluebeam. It's like a well-known conspiracy theory, and it's basically involving like the New World Order or leaders in conjunction with NASA, helping to start like the New World Order. And I believe part of it is fake alien invasions,
Oh,
like
that's the whole Werner von Braun thing,
state.
then, isn't it?
Yeah. Well,
Yeah, I
obviously
didn't know
he's
it was
fucking
called Blue Beam. Yeah, yeah. No, I know that. Yeah. Where
the
it's going to be aliens. It's going to be a meteorite that's going to just miss us. Then it's going to be aliens, and then that should be the last thing to bring all of the world together under one government.
Yeah, and like part of it is using projections to stage alien attacks and shit like that, which is project which I believe is part of. Basically, do you know I told you a couple of weeks ago about the time that person who said he was in the SAS told that person I know who used to work in a grow shop,
Yeah.
two very reliable sources, that he knew how Diana had been killed. Same bloke who used to work in the shop used to talk about Project Bluebeam a lot, not as like a believer, but a bit like us, but a bit to the nth degree further. Like he just likes looking into theories, but this bloke lives for it. Like he doesn't believe them, but he just likes to see how far people go. And like I'd go around to his house to smoke weed, and then it'd just be like
Just come out of there
encyclopedic
shivering.
knowledge, encyclopedic knowledge of like conspiracy theories just hurled at us from every angle, and like
That's
he'd
sick.
constantly look out of his window because where
I
we
bet he did,
live,
yeah. I bet he
well,
did. I bet the
well,
oh, fucking hell. I
go
bet the
on.
corner of the curtain was constantly folded.
No. Where we are and our elevation, like we're quite high up altitude wise, like compared to most parts of the country, and where he lives, it's about I don't know what 30 mile from the coast. But the way he looks, like he used to bang on about all the time. He gets to look through his binoculars and like you can see the sea there. That's in Redcar or Saltburn. Shouldn't be able to see that with the curvature of the earth the way it is. It's like I shouldn't be able to see that there, and I can see the sea there. And it honestly, this would happen 2-3 times a month, and it was fucking phones that. And it was brilliant. It was like a Stuart Lee joke. It started off funny, and then it was really funny, and then it
And then
was
it's
really
not
really
funny
funny,
anymore for
and then it
ages. And then
wasn't funny,
yeah,
and then it was even less funny, and now it's annoying, and now it's enduring, and then like gets carries on going. You're like, oh, it starts being funny again. Like it's really
yeah.
funny at the end. You're like, oh right, yeah, this is hilarious. But he was obsessed with that sort of shit, and Project Bluebeam, Project Bluebeam was one of them. But that's not this week's topic. This week's
Oh,
topic is games.
video games, yeah.
Yeah. And what did I send you just before we came on air? What was the
Blind Boy, the fella from the Rubber Bandits, singing about shitting into someone else's arsehole.
Yeah. No, getting
Yeah.
them to shit in his ass, I think.
No, yeah, no, they're taking it in turns, but towards the
Yes.
end of the song. He's a giver and a taker.
For those who haven't seen, Blind Boy's doing this series of videos where he gets. Oh, it's on his live stream. The part of his, I think he streams on Twitch, and part of his live streams is he plays random games like Red Dead Redemption 2 is a good one. He's done a few of those, and he makes up tunes on his guitar, plays along, does loops while he's playing the game to what's happening in the game, and making up stupid scenarios as it goes along. And fuck me, they're hilarious. Like every single one's had me buckled.
Nah, they are good though. They are. But so, what do you think then? Video games. What would be first straight out the bat? Which one do you reckon's influenced more people than any? Just off the top of your head.
GTA.
I don't. GTA. Do you reckon?
Yeah.
In what way? It's made people scared to go outside because they think everyone is psychotic killers, or it's turned more people to a life of crime.
No, what I think, what it's done. Like I wrote about this when I was at uni. It's one of the most important cultural texts of our time. Maybe not conspiracy wise, although the good thing, partially conspiracy wise, because GTA absolutely opened up a lot of people's eyes to like
Corporate fraud.
no
Release
everything,
GTA 5.
an absolute whole world of things that they didn't really know. So, say like everything from the music, all the radio stations, a whole complete broad spectrum of radio stations that reflect the time in each game, but also reflect the different genres that were coming through. What would have actually been played in those areas in those games, shit like that. Like that's an education for one. You've got all the references to like real events that had happened around those times, criminal or otherwise. Those were mimicked in those eras, in those games. And that, if you could be asked, like, if it was like, if you then got interested from that or found comparisons, you'd go on to learn about the real things. There's also the introduction people got to organised crime to some degree. Like, not to say that influenced them on committing organised crime, but like it just made them aware and like gave them a history of that sort of shit. But then you do have conspiracy because every single one of the games contains conspiracy plot storylines or Easter eggs that are related to conspiracy and shit like that. Like,
The massive heart in the Statue of Liberty.
Yeah,
that could be an actual like a prisoner, or an imprisoned Nephilim kind of thing, solidified in stone. Bigfoot is in it.
The biggest thing, the whole part on GTA 5, like the biggest fucking thing is to collect all the bits, then go to Mount Chiliad. You got to do several things, then you get the chance to shoot Bigfoot. But Bigfoot's played on throughout, like, so much. But it features throughout all the games. Like, I don't think, I mean, correct us if I'm wrong, but I don't think any other game has influenced pop culture and multiple generations as much.
No, maybe not. But then again, though, like GTA 1 and GTA 2, probably not that much. Neither GTA London. I don't think it was until it became more of a 3D visual.
Yeah, I get that, but even then, I don't even think I agree there, because you're right about the 3D world added a lot, but like in the 2D
Made it
world,
more accessible.
Yeah, but you still had, like in GTA London especially, you still had the buildings, the architecture and everything. You still had the cars that were reflected of the time. Like, you still had the music that was playing reflected of the time. The Liquidator, Harry J, is it Harry J and the All Stars? But that's the mate. It's like it's a legendary sort of ska tune, really.
Oh,
But it was the tune that everyone associates with GTA London. I can't remember, a couple of football teams use it. I think Chelsea maybe, or someone like that uses it as their walkout tune. It's a very famous, like it's a very like foundation ska tune, but yeah, exactly. So it still does do that, and the storylines still do that as well, albeit not as well, but they still do it. But yeah, I don't think anything ever has as much as that. Which I'm
no,
glad,
not
really,
yeah. Well, I
because
don't know
imagine
though.
if
Is
your
it
life had
really a
been
good
influenced.
thing?
Well,
Because it's very dark, in it, realistically. Like, not just like the colour palette of GTA 4, that was like fucking gives you the migraine if you play it for more than a few hours because you're squinting because it's all so dark and everything's fucking dark green.
oh
But
mate, so yeah, but
it
again,
does add to the theme of it, I guess, because it
it
was a
100%.
very fucking depressing game.
And also, it's the place. The place is depressing. It's not meant to look bright.
Yeah, no,
Like,
true.
this is what they do brilliantly. Like, you're right in that game at some time you couldn't play that for long periods. Well, I still did, but
You didn't feel good about yourself
no, you
afterwards,
didn't.
kind of
You
thing.
didn't
You
like
felt
it.
dirty as well, which was
It's
weird.
it was very fucking depressing, but that part of the fucking that part of what is it, New York? Yeah, New York is
New York, yeah.
like So I think it was all reflective, and they could have sacrificed that, and they could have like changed that so it was maybe a little bit bright, a little bit hot, but that wasn't what it should have been. The complete contrast to that is obviously GTA 5, where it's it's fucking Los Angeles, so like you've got all that, and it is all bright as fuck because it's the glitzy life of LA, unless you're at the top end.
Yeah.
But
In the fucking the
they
desert.
so they push loads of conspiracy. In GTA 5, you've got Merryweather,
Yeah, fucking hell, the fucking
the
privatised
private,
police force and that.
which is it's a private military, which is exactly it's
Yeah.
based on was it the people who were involved in Blackwater?
Don't know the name.
Private military group who have been like very, very active in Iraq and Afghanistan, particularly Afghanistan. What the fuck's their name? But yeah,
Getting
that's,
yourself put on a little watch list there, Googling that.
trust me, mate, that
On
is
another one.
a very shallow level of like my Google history. But that's not just conspiracy. It's like that was revealing like proper scandals. Like they've been doing that throughout all their games as well. It's a very.
But it's an important thing to say though, that conspiracy theory doesn't mean that it's not true. It's
No,
just
no,
a
no.
theory of a conspiracy. It doesn't mean conspiracy to say, oh, that's a conspiracy theory. It doesn't mean that it's silly or it's a throwaway thing. It can still be true. It's just not the mainstream narrative, the thing that's pushed to people. It's what's going on behind the scenes almost. I mean, some of them probably aren't real, you know. Like, I mean, it's hard to pick out which ones off the top of your head, but like the idea that fucking Bigfoot is the guardian to the doorway of the Hollow Earth, probably not true. Fun, but probably not true. But everything then gets tarred with that. Oh, you believe in that, so you believe in Bigfoot, so you. But I mean, do you have any? Like I have a theory, my own theory. Speaking of things that probably aren't true, is that the Japanese military and the American military or governments have been trying to capture demons for the past couple hundred years and try to use them in wars and in fights with each other, and now they're trying to rationalize it or normalize the idea of it through cartoons and games and things like that. Well, what do you think about that? Have you ever considered that before, apart from when I constantly message you about it every other day?
What demon that we're harnessing energies to fight each other instead of using humans now?
Actual demons, like that's the enemy is like they still use people, they still use machines, but realistically, the best weapon you could use is like a demon.
I mean, I would understand that if we hadn't already gone to all the trouble to have nukes.
But the nuke would kill the people, kind of thing. It might not kill the demon, but you'd still need to kill all of them people before they could unleash the demons. Or maybe the demons would be tied to a person, and you kill that person. Maybe you've got to alter the pH of the atmosphere or something to stop the demon from being alive.
I'll be honest. I'm not writing it off, but give me the scenario in in, say, what sort of military situation are you thinking, right, what I don't need right now is a sniper. I don't need an air unit to be called in. We don't need a sort of siege. What we really need to do right now, the best way forward would be to unleash
Get
a
me the
demon.
pentagram, man.
We don't know if he's been trained. We don't know if he's good in hand-to-hand combat, if he can handle himself with an
Fuck that, mate.
automatic
They
rifle.
can just touch the ground and make fucking swords come out of the ground and impale everyone or
How
something.
do you know
fucking...
what demons can do?
Well, why else would they have it all in cartoons and TV shows all the time? I mean, not in like Emmerdale and that, and it is probably a very niche selection of programs that I just keep watching, but I see it in lots of stuff, man.
I wish I'd watch Emmerdale if that started happening.
I would.
If I spoke to my mum one day and she was like, "Yeah, Emmerdale's got really weird, you know." Like the other day,
Bob
I was
started
watching
painting
it.
rings with blood on the floor.
I was watching it and fucking Paddy's head just started spinning round doing 720 spins, and then he scrawled in blood all over the walls like, "I will eat your children's eyeballs." And I was like, I just don't know if I'm going to be watching tomorrow. I was like, "I'll come round and watch it with you.
Yeah,
I'll make sure we get through it. All right, let's get some beers in." But yeah, I think. I don't know. When would a demon be appropriate? I'm not.
Well, okay. I'll set the scene. You're coming into a hillside. Say you brought up Afghanistan. You're in Afghanistan. There's a hillside in Afghanistan, and within that is some form of like concrete building set into the mountain. Now you can have a sniper there, get in the windows and get in the turrets or whatever. You know, the fucking not like the stone turrets, but like the mounted machine guns or whatever. You could even have a drone attack. And that's going to do some damage, but you can't get in there. But a demon can pass through walls because they're supposed to be trans-dimensional, so it can just fucking seep in, kill them all, and come back. Maybe there's an agreement that's been made. Maybe they've been somehow inexplicably fucking bonded to people. Maybe that's why they have Pokeballs in Pokemon as a way to symbolise that.
If a demon's trans-dimensional, then surely it's also like it can travel time, in which case we would never really have to have this battle, because I'd just be like, well before that, demon, just go and take out anything that's in the way. In fact, we don't have to have this war because I have a demon. Why am I here?
But they might have demons as well. So maybe there's a constant battle. Maybe that's why there's always war. And that war is being fought all the time, all through time, constantly by the same people, and that's why there's always empires warring with each other. Doesn't really matter what empire it's been, they've always been fighting. Certain areas of the world have always been fighting each other all throughout time.
Yeah, it's fun though, isn't it? It's fun,
yeah,
and you've got to spend that military budget somehow, and you're not going to get that budget next year again if you don't use it. And all these companies that make all your stuff,
the money though.
What, using demons?
Yeah, you're like, I've got a demon, and they're like, well, if you've got the demon, you don't need all these tanks. You're like, actually, I do need the tanks, because what if the demon fucking decides he's going to throw a tantrum? And they're like, okay, you can have the tanks. Then they're like, right, actually, to keep the demon happy, that's going to cost £30 trillion, because I need to keep him a constant supply of goats all throughout history. And I need to have a goat farm in every country that we're going to invade, just in case that the demon gets there before we do in a different time period. And then so he's got some form of something that he can do a blood sacrifice with, or the locals can do a blood sacrifice with. Like, say, even if it happened in fucking like Celtic times, and they're like, oh, we're going to go and invade Scotland, and we're going to use the altar around the Loch Ness, but we need to do that to get the demons out. But there's already one of the demons knocking about because it got released 60 years in the future from now. And they'd be like, I don't know how to. I just trust you. Okay, have all the money in the world, all of the money. I trust you. Honestly, I can't follow this story, but I believe you. Here's all the money. And then they've got all the money. They don't have to worry about anything. Maybe the demon doesn't even exist.
It does explain the defense budgets for like most of the Western world. Like that would explain a lot, because it doesn't cost us all the hundreds of millions of pounds to keep a few blokes just fed and us to have a few tanks. But demons paid in goats. Now that sounds like a rational expense. That sounds like something that may take up a lot of money.
Well, think about how much a goat costs. If I remember back in like year one, when you're about 6, they tell you that like Cathod would come to school and tell you that fucking that a goat would cost about £3 a month. So how that's what's that a year? 3 times 36 quid a year for one goat. So that's all, and that's only one meal, mate. And they've got to eat like what 4 times a day.
I
Now I
mean,
can't do the maths there, but that's a lot of money. And then if you're gonna do that all throughout time and history, fucking, they need the money for the goats, mate.
yeah, I mean, you're not wrong. It's a good argument for mass farming. I'll give you that.
Big
It's
farmer.
yeah, goat farmer. That's the first one of the night, though. Well done.
Thank you.
But I just don't see. I don't see, like, we've spent years and years trying to get things to be as accurate as possible, and basically get in and get out. Unless you're just gonna, you either get in or get out, or you nuke the place. And like a demon, you just don't know what he's gonna do next. Unpredictable.
Well, what if then? What if they're the projection? What if the weapons and stuff are the so-called like quote unquote projection, air quote projections for that we were talking about at the start from Spider-Man? But realistically, we're not using drones, and the actual explosions in that are caused by demons. But we're like, well, no one can see the demons because they're in a different dimension, but we can speak to them. We've got them on the phone here, and we're like, right, here's the coordinates. But you'd have to give them maybe an extra coordinate at the end because they're in a different dimension, or one less or something. Fuck knows, I'm not a
You
scientist.
give him a year.
But, yeah, just give them a year. Just
If you give him
destroy
a year,
everything in this
they'll
year.
fucking know. Yeah. Just give him a date. That's the third. That's the third coordinate. It's a date.
The time. Well, there you go then, yeah. Longitude, latitude, and an hour.
Yeah.
Yeah, there you go, mate.
We've
And
cracked
then,
this.
so you hide that, and you've got the machine guns and that. But that's just maybe then if you've not got a demon present with you, and someone gets shot, are they really in pain? Like that old saying about a tree falling. If there's no demon around and someone gets shot, are they really gonna bleed?
Yes, they are.
Oh.
I'll be honest. Every time I've ever been injured, as far as I'm aware, I've never been near an I was going to say a ninja. I don't know why. I went to say ninja, but I meant to say demon.
You wouldn't know.
Yeah, I wouldn't know with a ninja. I mean, if I did, that's a bad ninja because I shouldn't know.
But you're a fucking cracking fighter, and your classes are paying off.
It's definitely the first one. But if I don't think a demon's ever been there when I've bled, and I've definitely bled, so I don't think the rule applies. But we're digressing.
We are.
Video games.
So is it a way then? So could you say that a video game is something to try and teach people how to prepare for very specific situations? In the same way that when you're at school, again, to say school, or when you're at church or something, and they're like, right, here's a video about how, well, maybe not at church, but here's a video of how to put a condom on. So then it teaches you learn how to do that at school, and like the year above used to be able to do it with bananas and that, and with actual condoms, but because someone put a Johnny over their head and started breathing hard through the nose and passed out, they're no longer allowed to do that. So they whip out the old video from 10 years ago. Maybe that's what video games are, so they can try and educate people about certain very specific things that might happen, to try and take away the element of fear or surprise if something bad was to happen.
Right. If my counterpoint to that would be, at what point in life did any video game developer ever think that I was going to turn into a dolphin that would need to jump through a series of different levels, go through hurricanes and things like that, in order to find my way home? Because explain Echo the Dolphin to me, besides the fact that bloke was on IV drips of ketamine like for 48 hours at a time. That's one scenario I could never imagine myself in. Now something like Fallout, I think, I mean, based on that, I've never thrown a bottle cap away. Like, I have bin bags of bottle caps. So if the apocalypse does come, and I do have to live in an underground vault for about 200-300 years in a cryogenic chamber or something, I know when I come out of that, I'm going to be Elon Musk. I'm going to be so rich. I'm going to be Elon Musk and Jeff Bezos rolled into one. Just sat on a mountain of bottle caps. Just fucking living life, you know. Basically, living the apocalypse like I couldn't live this life. I'm 30 now. I'm never going to be that person. But in the post-apocalyptic world, I could be flying high.
Well, if you go and scrap them in, mate, you might do well for a week.
No.
You got bin bags of them.
Look, I've been tempted, right? I've been tempted to throw them away. I mean, the council may have complained, or I may have come round a couple of occasions to say the neighbours have complained about the massive pile of bottle caps that's in the back garden. Quite frankly, it's a health hazard. They may be kicking off, but they're not aware of future goals. They don't know my long-term plans, and quite frankly, they can't see what I can see. I mean, I know the end's coming. I'm trying to get a place in a vault. To be honest, I'm not entirely sure if I'm going to get one. I might have to just build a very deep hole in the back garden and line it with lead stolen from the local church or the school. But I know that once I've done that, I don't know what I'm going to do about a cryogenic chamber. I don't know if I can build one of those myself.
Get one of them walls ones from your local corner shop. Surely, if it's buried deep enough, it should be all right. Couple of Jennies down there. I reckon
Aldi will probably sell cryogenic chambers. If you go down
the middle aisle
of Aldi, it'll be right next to the fucking BB guns and the water suits, the fucking wetsuits. Yep, right next to the 3D printer, just about there. But I mean, I'm sorted. Not in this life, but in the next. I just need me. Some weaponry and a faithful companion that's going to stick us through and carry all the goods that I've stolen on my way throughout the Fallout world once it's come around. Because I'll be honest, in every game like that I play, I steal everything. Like, I could never speedrun a game. I fucking have to steal everything. And that would not change in the real world. If I was... Go on.
Well, Is that allowing you to live out a fantasy of being a thief?
It's not a fantasy, it's very real.
Well, yeah, but you're not an actual true kleptomaniac, because I can see, I mean, you've got a pile of something there to your left, but I don't know if that's beside you or if that's on the desk.
I've got a pile of nothing.
What's that there? There's stuff with a zip on it. There you go.
That's a cushion.
That's a fucking... Yeah, but, you know, I don't know if that's yours. Sure, you can say it's yours, but...
it's not mine.
Well, there we go then, mate. So, you're thieving a little bit, but you've not stolen, like, shitloads of mugs.
Mate, I have stolen
and that, you know.
Lots of shit in my time. Like, I'm not going to lie to you. My dad introduced us to stealing in a very friendly, happy way. Like, it was never... We don't go out and nick shit, but... It was like, you go to HMV, you buy 4 CDs, you put the fifth one in your pocket, and you pay for the 4 and you take the 5th. Or you go to Asda, you get a nice sausage roll for the walk round, and you just eat it and then put it in the bin when you get to the end. Just little things, but never from the small people, never from the individual people, never from small business. But I'll fuck the system. I'll completely fuck the system. Especially like Darlow HMV, Darlington HMV. If you've got CCTV footage from about 18 years ago, yeah, you find fucking suspect number 1 on here. Like, I started young in the game, brought up by daddy. He taught me well. But yeah, I'm gonna do it so much more in the post-apocalyptic world. I'll be going through everyone's houses, and I've made lists. Like,
whose houses to go through in 300 years' time after a nuclear bomb and cannibals have overrun the world. I 100%. Reckon they'll probably still have that tumble dryer. We always wanted a better one.
There's some easy ones. So
They've not got an alarm.
About 10 minutes up the road from me, we've got a gun shop, which is like, obviously there's loads of country land down here, so loads of people shoot and can hunt. So there's loads of rifles and shotguns up there. So, I mean, I'm going there straight away. Come on, I'm not daft.
There's something that they don't teach you in games, though. If games proves my point wrong about teaching you how to survive and stuff, you don't really get taught gun maintenance in games.
No, you don't. Oh, hang on. Red Dead Redemption 2. You have to
A
clean.
little, yeah.
I know it's only a bit, but you have to clean your gun in order for it to like
Fire
function
perfectly.
basically, and it gets weaker the more you use it. I know it's not down to the T, but it at least it puts that. In fact, isn't there? Aren't there? Well, no, there's not. There's games where guns break, but you can't fix them, like put them back together.
No. Not bit by bit and know what you need to do. But that'd be quite tedious and fucking ruin the game, wouldn't it,
Do you
really?
know what though? There's games like that. Have you played? Is it fucking Escape? It's not Escape to Tarkov or DayZ? DayZ, where it's like a zombie game, and you've got to fucking put everything together like that. That game is
like
it's
Dead Rising.
Mate, it's like a survival game. It's online based, and like you start off pretty much naked, like underwear, no clothes. The weather's against you. You get hungry. You can get disease. You can get everything basically, and the whole game's out to kill you. And on top of that, there's zombies. So there are games that go that thorough, but they're a lot more niche, for a good reason. Like the general public doesn't want to go very, very, very in deep on one thing in a game. They want a little bit of everything just to touch the surface that entertains them, to go, oh, there's that, oh, there's that, oh, there's that. Like very few, or I'm not saying that, not very few, because I like going like fucking to the nth degree on one thing, but like the games that do that tend to have more niche but more faithful followings.
Yeah, because they're obsessed with it.
Yeah.
I feel like if someone was to make a plumbing game,
Oh,
and they're like, oh, this is how you do a TIG weld. We're going to do a TIG weld here. And that's the whole game. You got like 40 hours. The first 40 hours is just going to welding school.
aye, but then you
come out of it feeling like you've got a qualification, but realistically, all you know how to do is time the X button just on point.
On a weekend, you and all your plumber mates going around your house sniffing loads of coke, doing loads of cans in, and just trying to out weld each other, out fucking pipe fit each other on a plumbing simulator. Like, here, fuck you, I'll smash that. You did that U bend. You did that U bend in 3 minutes. I'll do it in 2.5 minutes right now.
I'll do it in 2:58. Fuck you.
Yeah, fuck it. I'll smash it. Fucking bring that U bend here right now. Get in.
At college, I went to farming college, agricultural college, and all the farmers used to play farming simulator at night time.
Fantastic.
Yeah, in real time as well. They'd leave it on during the day while they were at class, and then they'd come back and fucking do whatever it is they had to do there. Basically, what they'd learnt in the class, they'd come back and do.
Fucking hell.
I can't imagine that. I can't imagine leaving your downtime to do exactly what you're going to be doing for the rest of your life.
Yeah.
Doing that in your downtime as well. Like it's like an addiction.
Yeah. It's one way to get a whole lot of pussy. I bet those boys got a whole lot of attention from
the sisters, the cousins, aunties.
Everyone within a 5-mile radius, which is all their land.
Yeah.
Yeah, fuck that. I'll be honest, right? When I was looking into conspiracy, the most recent thing that came up with conspiracy, which is a bit of a weird one, to be honest, it's quite petty as well, but it's also, when you find out the source, it's very, you're just like, yeah, it makes sense. Arsenal football, the football, you know what football is?
Oh yeah, I know what football is.
Fantastic. Well, the Arsenal, the Gunners. So Mesut Ozil plays for them, German midfielder, but he is, I can't remember of what descent. I can't remember I think it's Turkish descent, and he's Muslim. And last year, he spoke out about the Chinese locking up Uyghur Muslims and sending them off to the re-education camps. They're just fucking concentration camps. That's exactly what they are. And in light of that, China removed him from Pro Evolution. So Pro Evolution's a football game. FIFA. Yeah, the knockoff FIFA. But a lot
Manchester
of people prefer,
blue, Manchester red.
Yeah, a lot of people prefer it for the gameplay, even though it is just a shady FIFA. So they removed him from that. The weekend after he made the comments, the state-sponsored broadcaster in China didn't show the Arsenal game because Ozil plays for them, and like he's taken a back seat since, and he's been left out of the squad like practically all the time. The manager's been saying no. It's purely he's not good enough for the first starting 11 situation. It's got nothing to do with anything else. But there's a lot of Chinese investors in a lot of clubs, and I can imagine. I think Arsenal is one of them. And the theory is that he's been completely left, and he's a star player. Like, he's an unbelievable player. He would be a starting 11 in any other top 5 club, but he's being left out purely because he spoke out against China in support of Uyghur Muslims, which is fucking mental. Yeah. But it goes to show.
Even if there's only an ounce of truth to any of that, man, that's fucked. The idea that if someone does speak out about something and it's bad for business, so we're not having that.
Well, mate, didn't I tell you? Or weren't we talking about this with Star Wars? Was I talking with you about it? It's spoken about in South Park, man. Selling like the Chinese like big films now. I think it's like Star Wars is definitely involved in that, but other films like Marvel films and shit like that, like they're ran past. They seek approval from the Chinese market because the Chinese market's a huge market and it's where fucking they will earn billions. Oh. So all their material and all their plots and shit like that are ran through Chinese like advisory boards, which is basically China going, no, you can't include that. We don't want that. That storyline isn't sort of in line with what we tell people how your life should be, or like that.
So is that why they took Chairman Meow out of that new Cats film?
I don't know. I don't know, mate. Possibly so. But yeah, it's why it's why you'll never see a Winnie the Pooh film ever. Because there was all those memes about Chairman Mao looking like Winnie the Pooh, which is also done in South Park. Like fucking that, they rip it in that. But yeah, man, it goes to show the extent, which isn't even conspiracy. Like, this is at this point like quite widely known. That sort of reach, like if you have money, especially if you're a state where there's a huge market, you've got the influence over media. But this is where games like GTA and that shine, because GTA do the sort of opposite, and they just offset. I think what was it for the last game? They set aside like the first $1 billion in sales they set that aside for legal fees that they expected to get in lawsuits once the game was released. Like, rather than appeal to the markets, they'll just deal with the repercussions of the lawsuits that they get, which is fantastic.
Isn't it? But you've got to be brave to know that you're going to get them sales. Yeah. Because imagine thinking to yourself, right, I'm going to make the most fucking offensive game ever. You know, and I don't know what that would be. We could go into that, like, but fuck me.
Epstein Island, theme Epstein. It's like Theme Hospital, but you just you've got your own plot of land. You get to you've got a shipment of kids comes in 30th of every month. A little bit like
Tropico.
No, what's the game where you go through the month? We used to have a knockoff version called Payday, and you basically went through the month, like a board game it was, and you went day to day through a calendar. And like you had to get your costs and that and shit like that, and you got charged and stuff happened to you through the month. And then at the end, you'd get your money and reset again. Well, this is a bit like Theme Hospital crossed with that. So 30 kids come in at the end of every month, and like in that time, you've got to build facilities. You've got to get your guest list sorted. You've got to sort travel. Yeah.
Cassette tapes for the CCTV to blackmail with. Envelopes.
You've got to get the Colombians on the phone, get that good shit in. You've got to get all the blood contracts written out and get ready to sign them in like blood, so you're bound by that not to say anything. You've got to ship in the huge dedications to like Moloch and shit like that you're all gonna burn because you're on some fucking next level New World Order shit. There's a lot of
transferable owl tattoos.
Yeah, you've got to get all those. You need at least $1 million for pentagrams, just to put on just various pentagram stickers to take home.
Back of the car.
Yeah. Fridge magnets. I went to
as well to put on the back of the kids, so it's like I'm with a little arrow. Like
that. Little fridge magnet. I went to Epstein's Island and all I got was nonced, like things like that. Like But I mean, we're onto something here. If Goat Simulator, Farming Simulator, and like shit like that, there's no reason Plumbing Simulator can't be, and there is 100% no reason that Epstein's Island Simulator, Theme Epstein's Island can't be. Well, did you not see when the latest Microsoft Flight Simulator came out that everyone was flying to Epstein's Island? There was
lots of people were doing lots of fucked up things on it.
Yeah, I mean, there was a lot of 9/11s. I'll be honest, I'll say that too.
Yeah,
but like the first memes of the first videos I saw were just like gatherings of like 50 different planes all on Epstein's Island. It's like, yeah, with the boys, chilling here on the Island of St. James. Absolutely amazing. But yeah, that's a game you could go really far in deep in. If you want to go in deep on a game, is Theme Epstein's Island Simulator.
And you could even have it like the DLC could be, let's go to the White House, let's go to Buckingham Palace and all that, you know, and you got to do the dealings there. You don't have like, 3D cutscenes or out like that, but it's still like a blueprint view.
I mean, you can have 3D cutscenes, but just at very tactile angles.
Bowls of fruit everywhere.
Very large bowls of fruit, like very huge, like huge.
No, they wouldn't have to be large bowls of fruit.
People-sized bowls of fruit. Oh. I meant
fruit salads.
Yeah, you could go. I mean, there's the times you could deal with the court cases. You could go. Yeah. There's a bit of Law and Order in there. You could have
that would be a fucking great game, though. Getting away from the pedo stuff, though. Just a game about being in court to teach people law.
Yeah.
People would fucking love that because then people would know their rights.
I mean, I know so many people that I grew up with at school who would fly through that game so many times because they know everything about the law because they've been nicked that often. They just shouted at the judge, go, "I'm not fucking this, no, I'm not fucking that, no, no comment the rest," and then they've completed the game on expert setting, no problem.
It'd be like that fucking, was it the Tom Clancy game where they tried to bring in where you didn't need the controller and you could do it all through a headset? I tried that, but it didn't understand my accent. So I'd be like, go forwards, go, and it just doesn't do anything. Like, you can use the controller with it if you want, but I didn't see the point because it wasn't a great game. But I thought it would be fun to be able to give commands over the microphone and that. And
man,
I didn't have a clue what I was saying.
It's like the first time you get a gun to play the game with, and you're like, oh shit, I'm never going back to any game that doesn't require a gun ever again. And then you do it with other game, and you're like, oh yeah, I'm done with this.
Yeah, like Time Splitters.
Well, I did it with, I had the Die Hard trilogy, which was an unreal series of games. Obviously, the second one was the first two were first-person shooters, and the second one was like a driving game, pretty much, because you had to drive around the city defusing bombs. It's fucking class, absolutely class. But you used a gun. You used a gun in the first two, and then the third one you used a steering wheel. And I mean that was a revelation to like 10-year-old me who'd only ever seen that in arcades. And then I was using one in my house. I thought, I'm never going to go back to using the pad again.
Did you ever try to play other games, though, using the steering wheel that didn't need a steering wheel?
Don't work.
Does it not?
No.
Oh. I wonder if that gives it like an extra difficulty. Like the accelerator is like R1, brake is like L2. They're just all over the place, and you gotta change gear to shoot or reload. You gotta be in like gear 3, so your foot's down on the clutch and gear into 3. You're like, right, I've reloaded. Fuck, I'm dead.
You're playing fucking PGA golf. It's like, what the fuck am I doing here? Yeah. Spinning a steering wheel around, and then to lift your arm up, and then fucking spinning it around well fast to get the other way, so it hits it. Ting! You just break the steering wheel, smash that. No, I would never do that. It's a silly idea. But what theories? Tell the people. This has pretty much been building up to this. Tell the people about your ideas and why you've got the ideas for your idea of a video game.
You might have to remind me on bits in it, but yeah. So I think that games aren't enough. I don't like it when things end. So I don't like the idea that you can complete a game for a start. I think that should be a fallacy. That should be nigh on impossible to complete a game.
It's a bit ironic that you don't like things that have an end and you deal in
death.
things that have come to their end. You wouldn't
Yeah,
have a
but they're
business.
going on to carry on. Otherwise, they'd just be burnt or incinerated, and then they'd just be ash.
So
they
that's
don't
sort
end.
of reincarnation, which is just starting a new level of your game, starting a new save.
Exactly. Well, not starting a new save, but starting a new level of the game. So you can carry on starting a new level. Like with something like Snake. Snake never ends. Snake's a never-ending game. It's not a fun game after like 5 levels. You're like, yeah, I've got this now. I know what I'm doing. It's not great. But it carries on potentially infinitely. Whereas then you've got something like GTA, which finishes, you get to the point where you're like, oh, I've done it. Even if you collect all the collectibles and you're like, I've got to the end, fucking hell. And I just think it's lazy. I just think they should be able, somewhere should be smart enough to be able to make a game engine that continues creating story, creates new characters, new story arcs, adds to the canon of the original story, and maybe even potentially is different for every person. I don't like the idea
Online do that though?
No, not really. What does it really add? You get repeatable missions and repeatable heists.
But you get new storylines and new DLCs added and shit like that all the time.
Yeah, but it's not enough, is it? You want it so you can, once you've done it again. So imagine the idea like if you had something like No Man's Sky, that's supposed to be infinite, albeit there's not a lot to do on it unless you want to just fucking mine stuff and fucking then sell that to these weird owl-headed aliens. And do that continuously, but it's the same thing.
More Morlock dedications.
Aye, yeah.
More Morlock references.
Well, to get there's a word like Morlock in the Abe's Odyssey games, the Murdochs, the fucking bad guys in the cape.
Right.
Well, the guys that look like capes there in that. But imagine this.
I think that's Rupert Murdoch. They're all just they're just taking a stab at the media. Yeah.
Oh, fair. Well, it would make sense because they're selling off people's lives, aren't they? They're killing the Mudokons.
Yeah, I made that up, but it definitely makes sense.
Maybe. Fuck knows. But yeah, imagine like an infinite universe of a game where you can go, if you wanted to, you could go to one planet and it's just like Earth and you can just be normal. Or you can go to Earth and play a game, be there, and it's like going Postal, that fucking game where you can piss on people and stuff. Or you could go to another planet and it's like Pokemon, and you're like, yeah, this is fucking sick, mate, and you got tournaments and stuff. Or then you can go to another planet, and it's just loads of racetracks, and you can do that like an infinite games, but they all cross over then as well. So can be like,
I think I've found the problem, and that's you want a game that is thousands of different games in one game, that doesn't end, which would require pretty much all of the world's developers, writers. It would also require a ridiculously powerful sort of computer. Like, put it this way, you're not playing that game on console. With the amount of shit that has to generate and the amount of detail that would be in, I don't know what you're playing this on. I don't know what sort of system you've got.
VR headset, mate. Or an injection straight into your spine. Doesn't matter. What would you need to do? What else would you really need? You could do anything you wanted in it. And then just come out of it and be like, right, I'm going to eat, going to have a wank. Probably go to sleep. Even though I've just been on one planet in the game where I've just slept for 5 hours in half an hour and played in dreams.
You ever tried heroin?
I thought you was going to say therapy, but no,
heroin.
Either.
Because what it sounds like is if you want to play a video game that you inject into your spine, that in some instances you can be like, oh, I just slept for 5 hours in that game. It sounds like you should be trying heroin. And you say you want to live all these different lives. I guarantee you live some different lives on heroin. If you want to mix it up, you inject a little meth. I think what you're seeking isn't a game. I think it's very strong stimulants, depressants, and psychotropic drugs.
It could be. I might just need more to do.
And then what you want to do is when you've taken those drugs, play games, and you'd be like, do you know what? I'd never wanted more than this. This is fantastic. This. Do you know what? GTA, just the right amount of levels. If it went on for much longer, I'd probably given up hope. Yeah, I'd got a little bit bored.
To be honest, though, I reckon though if you just took enough antidepressants, like the recommended dosage from a doctor, though, like as long as it's a good strength, and then played the games, I'd probably be like, you know what, this is actually perfect. They've done a really good job here, rather than being so pessimistic towards it all. And
no, you wouldn't.
You wouldn't.
antidepressants don't make you happy; they make you neutral.
Yeah, exactly. Like, so and that's the intended effect of it, innit, is to be, this is how it's supposed to be, and I'd just be going along with it, like, yeah, this is fine.
Yeah, but
rather than wanting
you
more
wouldn't be
out of it.
enjoying the game. Like, and this is coming from fucking experience. Like, I sat when what was it when Red Dead 2 came out? I don't know if I was taking them when Red Dead 2 came out, but when I was on sertraline, I obviously wasn't at work for the first couple of months, and I did a lot of just fucking sitting in front playing games, and I'd put something on 15 minutes and then just be like, no, I can't, this isn't doing anything, and then put a different game on 15 minutes, same thing, and I'd try every day just to even do something to try and just be like, oh, this is relaxing and just like a little bit enjoyable. Just weren't. I couldn't do shit like that because I knew that they should be making us like not happy, but happy. They should be making us happy, making us laugh, shit like that, getting us excited, and it was just neutral, completely new. It was like everything was grey. It was like everything was GTA 4.
It makes sense though, doesn't it, really? Because otherwise everyone would want to be on them, wouldn't they, if they made you happy? They're not. I guess, yeah, I get what you mean.
They're not happiness drugs at all. They're
No,
levelers.
no.
That's all they are.
Yeah.
Like, you're not meant to go cold turkey at all. But I did exactly that because I just knew that I needed it out of my system, and I could deal with the low that you get if you go cold turkey more than I could deal with the nothing feeling. Because if I was feeling shit, my logic was, and it fucking turned out to be that, if I'm feeling shit, at least I'm feeling something. Exactly. At least I'm feeling something. So I dropped them cold turkey and had like 2 weeks, 2.5 weeks of fucking shit. But the whole time I was like, this is better than going around like a zombie. This is better than having the same conversation 4 or 5 times a day, 50, 60 times a week, because I don't remember what I'm saying. Like, I couldn't have conversations with people. It was taking as, like, sentences would take us so much longer to get out.
So there you go. There's a little conspiracy we can build on that, bro. Are the people then that make antidepressants and get people taking antidepressants, not like GPs and that, but the actual people behind the companies, are they in cahoots with the people that are making really boring app games?
Oh, well, I mean, they go
boring app games.
Yeah, man, they go hand in hand, and so does social media.
Yeah,
all that shit.
You just scroll and just tap in,
it's just neutral. It just makes you do the same shit, which is what that does. Like, it. I mean, it would be interesting to find out if one fed the other, or if the social media apps and games looked at the amount of people who are on antidepressants and went, oh, right, we can capitalize on this. They're a brilliant market to tap into, or if they were like, right, we've created these games and that, now let's create the market and flooded them with antidepressants.
It's possible, isn't it? You know,
that's one way to guarantee an audience.
Yeah.
Like, I mean,
like when they had Valium and they introduced like more fucking TV shows. When I don't know if that's a fact though, but like Valium used to be called Mother's Helpers or something in America, wasn't it?
Oh,
a lot of
You're about
daytime
Prozac.
TV, you can easily argue Prozac, yeah. You can easily argue a lot of daytime TV was aimed at women. Now,
100%.
was that a crossover thing there?
Well, they knew their market for sure, but I wouldn't be surprised if it was. But it was also like with Prozac, it wasn't even that subtle, mate. Like there was very, very quite happy adverts about it being like, yeah, I used to just mope around the house feeling shit because for no reason. It wasn't because I was just moping around the house all day being a housewife, not having a job and being out there like the men of the world. It wasn't because this society creates this sort of role for me where I have to sit in the house and just stare at the same 4 walls, clean, cook, and basically be a servant all day. It wasn't that. I must have just been feeling unregularly down, so I take Prozac now and I feel great. Now I
mope around the house on Prozac.
Yeah, now I cook and clean with a neutral smile on my face, and when my husband comes home and asks how I've been, I say, I've been here. But yeah, man, it was advertised. They didn't even have to do that subtly. That was so blatant. Like, America fucking loves antidepressants. But yeah, it wouldn't surprise us that they make the markets. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if Zoom created the coronavirus. Think
Yeah,
about it.
I know it did just explode, didn't it, at the same time?
If Zoom and TikTok created the coronavirus, what about that for a thing? They're both Chinese companies. What about that? Create your
It's
market.
possible.
Got to create your market, and I think they created a market. You've got to deliver something in a time of need that people didn't know they needed until that moment, and you've got to fill that gap and be like, I am that thing. So they were like, right, we'll create a scenario where people need to be cut off from each other and have to have conversations for social, for business, for everything, and they'll also need to fulfill their vanity and their vain side of themselves, and still try to remain sort of relevant in the social media world by posting short videos of themselves dancing to stupid dances and putting them on an app. And then TikTok and Zoom was born.
Or advertising taxidermy and fossils. But there's other bits that you're not thinking though about. Like we're using Skype right now, and Skype's been successful, and that must have come about at some point. And Vine as well. Vine was what TikTok is, but nearly 10 years ago.
Vine died because it didn't create a plague for itself, did it?
Well, we don't know though, because like looking back, do we remember what was going? I don't remember what was going on, or when Vine started. Will we remember when TikTok started? Realistically, in 10 years' time, lots of other stuff's going to have happened.
Yeah. When was the last time you had when was the last time you had a global pandemic of this magnitude?
True, but why would TikTok be the thing that would stand out in that? It'd be the pandemic, wouldn't it? That would stand out as the memory.
That's what they want, mate.
And a lot of
they don't want you because they don't want you to
associate.
Yeah, they don't care about the fucking legacy. They care about the stock price. What are you?
What's happening right now? Yeah.
Why do they need to? They in 10 years' time, they don't want you. TikTok and Zoom right now don't want you in 10 years' time to look back and go. And we might not even be looking back. They might have taken over the world by then. Like they don't want you to look back and go, oh, why? Do you know what? 2020, really good year for TikTok. What they want you to go is, oh, it's the pandemic, because then you don't think about the fact that TikTok and Zoom like made all the money during that time, and you don't put two and two together and go because of the pandemic.
I get that. Thinking about when I heard you say them one after the other though as well, it made me think something. It's weird that they've almost got the wrong names, because Zoom implies it's quite quick and TikTok implies the slow ticking of a watch or something, and a TikTok video is quite quick, whereas a Zoom call would be lengthy, or a meeting or something like that. It's weird that they've got the opposing names. You'd think they'd have the names would be the other way around.
It's the Chinese translators, isn't it? Chinese translators have got it wrong.
No, maybe.
Don't tell them though, because if this gets back to communist China and they find out that they've got it wrong, you've just created two public executions.
What, for the marketing teams?
Yeah, like well done. Well, you now have blood on your hands. Not the Chinese government doesn't have it on theirs. You have it on yours. You basically just killed two groups of people.
Well, I imagine though, like, you know, you've sort of thought to yourself, well, I'm getting involved here in something that I don't know if what you're saying there is true, what you're alleging, you know, that you've gone into that job thinking there's a risk. And we've got to bear in mind, we're not using Zoom for this call.
No, we're not.
Are they going to hear this?
And this is my point. Yeah, because the Chinese are infiltrating everything. Of course they're going to hear this. They hear, basically, if you make a noise, if you fart, China hears. Right? Actually, I wouldn't be surprised at this point if you fart, China smells. Like, they're probably that advanced with their surveillance technology that we're probably at that point now. Let's be honest.
Would you want simulated smells in games?
No, because I play some games that I don't want to. Do I want to smell
prostitutes in GTA?
Yeah, most of the shit in GTA. Think about some of the cars you have to get in. Think about some of the people you work with. They're not hygienic people, right?
Would add to it though.
I mean, I'd spend a lot of time at Lil Jacob's house in GTA 4. Like, that bloke's fucking smoking a shit ton of reefer. But like this, what you're coming back to saying, like Skype and that had their time, but they didn't create pandemics to make their products go large, to make their services like gain traction. They just built it slow and steady. China are taking over the world, and quickly, so they had to get it out there now, and they had to dominate the market. They need that technology on your phone, because let's be honest. Like I'll keep saying, let's be honest. I'm not lying. I don't ever have to say that. I'm not lying, but not only do they want the money. Obviously, China want the money, but China has a lot of money. What China love is data. So what they did was not only create two services that have made a fortune in this time, but they've also created two services that constantly take the audio and the video from your camera and your microphone and everything personal you say and do in front of that on those two apps, which with most people is fucking 90% of their lives. They now have that. More important than the money. The money's second to them. They've now got all your data. They've got all your everything corporate wise, so all your marketing likes. They've got all your likes, all your wants, everything your dislikes. They can filter that out, your algorithms and all that shit. They've got so many secrets. They've got all your secrets. They've got your relationship stuff. You've got your financial situations. But deeper, they've got the way your face your face conveys that information. So they've then got sort of scientific data, so they can do face mapping and shit like that. And then they've got your likeness. So if they want to rip you off for identity fraud, they've got that too. Like, this has been a big,
big year. It would be interesting if someone was to use the algorithm to give you bad stuff. Why would they not do that? Like the ultimate supervillain.
Yeah, just the opposite. Just one day you wake up and after they've decided, right, we've got enough now. This is all we've been doing this whole time. That might be the plan. That might be the fucking plan. So the plan is to feed you with good shit all this time and keep feeding you good shit so you keep using and you keep using and you keep using. And then one day they're just going to flip the switch. It could be New Year's Day.
Slowly introduce really depressing stuff.
It could be New Year's Day. They could just flip it and everyone's algorithm do a fucking U-turn and you never see anything you want to see again. And you only get to see shit that you absolutely hate. But now, because you're already stuck in the motion, because they've built it for that long of you still scrolling and still being involved and still, you can't get off the app. Now you're going to be stuck looking at the shit that you hate and you can't help it, and it just destructs you more. It destructs you more and it breaks you down.
Every time you go on Pornhub, it's just all fat women fucking walruses.
No, they said shit you...
Fuck's sake.
No, you said shit that we don't like.
No, yeah, exactly. Like you want to see a man fuck a walrus. What's in it for you if you see a fat woman fuck a walrus?
Well, a lot for me. There's a lot of crevices to stick things.
In a walrus,
and in a large lady and a walrus, and I don't mean just penis. I mean like I could stick chunks of butter, packets of biscuits,
chocolate eclairs, mate,
screwdrivers,
both the sweets and the pastry.
Yep. Rolling pins, bottles of Tango, just stuff. Basically, you know when someone falls asleep and you just put shit all on them, that. But while they're awake, fucking. And me, I'm not involved in the sexual acts. I'm just going round. I'm just going around, just sticking things in from angles, highlighters, just seeing how big I can go. Starting off small, starting off with like,
Penny.
But yeah, penny's a good shout, and then a rubber, like a pencil eraser. And then the pencil, maybe.
Oh, no. You could start lifting the folds up of the woman or of the walrus and then raising them with, like, fucking fruit pastels to make it look like little columns and make it into, like, a Roman sort of doorway or little porches and make little scenes in there, mate. Draw little stickmen in there.
You're expecting this walrus and this woman to be pretty still, aren't you? I'm anticipating a lot of movement and for me to get in where, like a reverse Jenga.
I'm not thinking about fucking them anymore, though.
I'm thinking about a reverse Jenga. So, like, you've got to get, instead of taking bits out, I've got to get bits in while I can and then, like, fucking dodge out. But, I mean, this is built quite a scene. I think this is a fitting way to end. I think we've smashed video games, mate.
Haven't we already talked about someone fucking a walrus?
No, I've told you about Tusk. But that I told you about the film Tusk,
Oh,
which
the
is where
Kevin
he
Smith
makes
film.
it.
Yeah,
Yeah,
he makes
yeah,
it
yeah.
walk.
But we may have then taken that on to then talk about fucking that walrus. It's very possible. It's not beyond the realms of our discussions. But on that note, we're gonna let Chode in. I think it's time for a dose of liberal paradise.
Aye.
I think you can agree. We, apart from a 15-minute tangent, we pretty much knacked video games.
Yeah, we did quite well there.
Rockstar are good, and Peggle's the devil. Peggle is most definitely a fucking KGB
What's
ran.
Peggle?
Are you fucking serious?
Peggle.
Are you fucking serious?
Peggle's
Peggle's an unbelievable. I'm not even going to explain it now. I'm going to leave us on this, and I'm going to make. Do you know what? I want to come back next week. I'm not going to tell you anything now, but the start of next week's show, you're going to tell me all about Peggle and your experiences with it. Deal.
Right,
nice
gonna
one.
Be very limited then, isn't it?
Nope, because you're gonna. It's. I'm sure it's free to play. Get the Peggle. Right, people. Chode's on. It's Liberal Paradise. Stay about. This episode's been sponsored by Theme Epstein's Island Simulator. It's out on all available good platforms in the next 3 to 4 weeks, I should imagine, just after Christmas. So yeah, buy copies now. They start at £16 and under, and you can get them from all good shops. Yeah,
$19.99.
see you next week.